can't believe you do so many things. Well, okay, I get extremely scared every time I see big titles like this, Finding Your Calling. That's intimidating, especially because I think I found my calling by accident, let alone helping you find your calling. I hope you don't have such expectations that after I talk, you immediately know what you want to do. But what I know is how to build an epic home. And what I realized was, in building more houses, that there was actually key lessons that I was learning along the way, which I think might be able to help you. So here it is. So these are the basic steps to build an epic home. Step 1, to identify your site, your build site. Number 2, footing. Number 3 would be structure. Number 4 would be flooring, roofing, and finally cladding, walls, and finishing. And then you get one epic home. So where do we begin, right? So the house over there was when we started. That was the first house we came across, which really sparked the idea to start building houses for Orang Asli people. But I'm not going to talk too much about that. What I realized about the picture as well, and about the scenario that we came across, was the fact that there was a man that was staying in this house for over 2 years. And while the picture or the house itself was troubling, we were ourselves more troubled by the question to why a man would live in such a house for 2 years. Why would he accept this way of life? And we realized the reason why was because he lost hope. And I believe that this is a picture that signifies many of us as well. But we believe that it's not too late to start to build. So how do we start? We start with identifying a new site. And some houses that we come across are structurally unsound. So these houses are built upon bad principles, a confusing upbringing, and usually when we look at these houses, we say that it's not too late to really just demolish the house and rebuild on top of it. Number 2, less than conducive environments. So many times we come across houses that are 400 square feet or 600 square feet, probably 3/4 the size of this stage, where you get 15 to 20 people staying in this house. So it's really less than conducive for growth, to raise a family. Many of us are caught in this situation as well, where we're perhaps in a company that you don't enjoy. I'm not going to ask you to quit your job. Perhaps a group of friends that you know are toxic to your growth as an individual. What do we do with this family? Basically, we'll find a new location and we'll move there. Thirdly, homeless. You don't have your own personality, you don't have your own character. You've been just living up to other people's expectations about you. It's okay. It's fine. It's not too late. You can start building today. So what follows that? Footing. Finding your footing. And basically, first you have to identify your foundation blocks. You ask yourself, who do you want to become? All right? Establish your principles. So your principles is really what establishes the foundation blocks of the house. So these are mine. Unconditional love, courage, collaboration, integrity, humility, and fun. And I made a decision with myself that I will put relationships with people above anything else, above accomplishments, above hitting my targets. But relationships mean the most to me. So that was something that I established. And in putting up the footing, there needs to be leveling. We need to find the level, because based on the terrain that you have, you'll find that it's very dynamic. Not everybody gets a flat land, right? The terrain, all of us are dealt different hands in life. So based on that, you need to level. You need to strike a balance between all these principles to find out which ones need to be raised up, which ones can be just suppressed a little bit. Because if it's not balanced, your house, the structure that comes up on top of these footings, will be crooked, or the house may not be able to come out at all. Lastly, once you've established your principles, your foundations, and you've done your leveling, you found your balance, you got to start digging deep, really deep. And the thing about footing is that it's an extremely frustrating exercise, because it takes up a lot of time, but at the same time you don't see anything on the ground at all. All you see are holes. So that's really poking holes into your own character. Digging deep within yourself, questioning yourself, doing the soul searching. And it's not sexy at all. No one sees it. And in an epic build, it's a common question for people to ask on the first day itself. Hey, you all know what you're doing or not? Huh? Why you ask me to take out the soil and then put the footing in, and then you ask me to take out the footing and then put the soil out again? And people ask like this all the time, and I realize that perhaps this is also what people ask you in your life. If you're going through this phase as well, people will ask you, are you sure you know what you're doing? You sure you're not wasting your time? But this needs to be done, and this is actually the most important step. Removing the dirt that needs to be removed and establishing firm foundations. So once you've done that, next we'll be working on the structure. And structure basically ensures that other elements and components can be added onto the house without compromising its safety or shape, or intended shape based on the plans. So at this point in time, you'll see a frame, right? People will start to notice, I think there is some potential in this person. And at this point, what do you ask yourself? How do I establish structure in my life? You ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What do you care about? What are you interested in? What makes you happy? So these questions will help you narrow your scope. This will give you a wireframe or a frame, the structure, to which you will then be able to build your life upon. So these are the questions you probably want to ask yourself. And then you move on to flooring. Okay? So flooring basically provides maneuverability within the house. It becomes a platform to reach to higher things. So flooring is really just a platform. People start to explore the potential within you when the flooring is up. They can move around you. So what exactly are these platforms? It's about what do you do, right? That's the question that you ask in order to put up your floors. Career, position, start a company, your school, these are all platforms. And once you've got your foundation, once you've got your structure in place, you'll know which platforms will suit you and which platforms will suit you best to attract the kind of people that will help you move to the next level, which is basically the roof. Without the flooring, you won't be able to put up the roof because the scaffolds are located on top of the flooring. If not, it's going to be located on the ground and it will be a bit too high. So what is roofing? What does it signify? The roofing basically provides us the comfort for all the volunteers, all the builders that build the house. It's an amazing time. Whenever the roofing is up, suddenly everybody wants to work on the house. Before that, you'll see people working, sitting under the canopy, eating their ice cream, because it's really hot. You're right there under the sun, exposed. But once the roofing is there, it provides people that comfort. And why? So that they will be more excited to work, more excited about working with you, on you, and for you. So that's really what roofing is. And how do you get your roofing done? You ask yourself, how can you serve others? What value can I give? And some examples, a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, time, energy, or even money. So these are the roofing that you can provide. And finally, it's cladding and finishing, which are basically not important at all. It's walls, doors, and windows for an epic home, which basically gives the impression of a complete house. This is merely a byproduct of all the other vital components. Why? Because it's not that it's not important at all. It's great if you have it, but it is okay. You can do a trial and error. It's okay if you get it wrong. It's okay if it's damaged because it can easily be changed. Everything else, that's vital components. But cladding and finishing, that's nothing. It's just a byproduct. Sadly, though, this is what most of us invest our time on. That's the car that we drive, the way we dress, the kind of name cards we hold, the kind of positions that we give ourselves, the certificates, the awards. These are the things that perhaps we start to go after from the get-go. No one has really taught us, no one has really taught us how to get your foundation blocks in place first. A lot of time it's really just chasing these things, the cladding, the finishing. And imagine the house that you saw earlier. Imagine not doing anything to the structure, but just putting on new walls, new roofing sheets, new paint onto it. That won't change a single thing because deep down inside we all know that it's not good enough, that it will crumble. And there will be a limit because your foundation is not strong. So if you load it too much, it will crumble. But sadly, That's what most of us focus on, the impression of success. So that needs redefining as well. So that's really how to build an epic home. And just to recap, step 1, to identify a new site, identify your current challenges. Where are you now in your life, and what do you have to do next? It could be moving from your friends. It's a hard decision, but that needs to be done if you want to grow. It could be quitting your job. I'm not going to get technical in that area at all. It's sensitive. Yeah, but basically, it's moving from where you are now, where you've stagnated as a person. Identify that first. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to become? Rather than what you want to do first. Number 2, footing. Decide on your principles, find your balance, and start digging deep. Because the deeper you dig, the higher your building will be. So that's more cladding, that's more finishing. That's the sexy part, but you can do more sexy if you dig deeper. 3, structure. Explore your passions and interests. Don't be ashamed, right? People always say, be realistic, whatever you're passionate about, it's not good enough, you won't be able to earn a single cent. Well, I'm still finding out how I'm supposed to earn money from what I'm doing, but I still survive, and I'm happy. And because of that, I also get the opportunity to be able to be here. 4, flooring. Decide on what you want to do based on your interests and your passions. Number 5, roofing. Ask yourself, how can you serve others better? How can you provide comfort? How can you take away someone's pain? And lastly, cladding and finishing, just let it happen naturally. If it goes wrong, you can easily change this. When I was writing this, I remembered, I think there's like a perfect word to it. Eugene coined it, I think, or someone else coined it, but I learned it from Eugene. That's the wantrepreneur. Everybody wants to look like that entrepreneur and look like a star, but they don't focus on the fundamentals. And let it happen naturally. It will happen. It's a byproduct. So really, become the bomb instead of a fireworks show. All right? Become the bomb. All right? Listen, if you get all that steps right, you will be the bomb. Bonus lessons that I've learned from building a house. So once you've got a firm foundation in place, allow others to build you. So Epic Homes is all about getting ordinary people in a big group to put up a single house, and they are unskilled. And most of the time, they are strangers, so it's extremely scary. But somehow it works. We've built 16 houses so far. So if you're the house, that's another principle that we learn. Let others help build you. The more solid your structure, the more people you can hold within you. People that will help you put you together and form you to become the person that you want to be. Because there's no such thing as a self-made man. There's no such thing as that. 2, have fun while you're at it. It's extremely important. Why? Because life is a journey. It's not a destination, right? So don't be too hard on yourself. Okay? So that's all I have for you. I hope that helps. Thank you very much.